Welcome to Bitcoin Technical Analysis. Today we're here with Tone and George, and I'm your host, Theo Goodman. How's it going, guys?
Going well. Happy New Year.
Yeah, going good.
Happy New Year to you guys. Happy New Year to all our viewers. Make sure to check us out on World Crypto Network and Bitcoin.com. And today we're going to have a look at Bitcoin, S&P, and some Forex pairs. There's definitely been a lot of action in Forex and S&P. All right, George, you wanted to talk about some of the Forex pairs today?
Yeah, I'll start off with a little Bitcoin. So here's a 4-hour chart, and it's been this same situation for a while now. It's just coiling and getting tighter, and the two moving averages are super, super tight, as you can see here. They're just on top of each other with the price just below it. The RSI is in a pretty decent position. MACD is rolled over, and then the commodity channel's kind of in zero in no man land. So I still think a move's going to come, and I'm thinking lower before it goes higher. The daily, you're still seeing the same kind of action, coiling, but still above all its moving averages. The RSI's gone flat, the MACD rolled over, and the commodity channel's flat too. So the move is going to come, and it's really just in what direction. And then here's the weekly, which we look at all the time as well, and it's very bullish. Obviously, I think that if it does go short and the price falls for a bit, it's going to be a fairly shallow short, maybe down to 400, 390 area before we go back up, unless stuff starts to deteriorate. But everything's still pretty bullish. And then I just want to talk about Ether for a second, because I've been looking at the chart and I noticed it's really tight. The price, the trading for like a long time, this is a daily chart, has just been in a really, really tight range. And the RSI, the MACD, and the commodity channel index are all kind of coiling as well. And I think this is setting up for a move one way or the other. And I'm watching that to see which way it unfolds, because I kind of want to get on some action here. I think this could be a pretty good move. So the thing we always look at when we're talking about Bitcoin is the dollar yuan. The onshore offshore yuan, and the spread is widening again. I mean, China continues to devalue, and the offshore yuan is spiking. I mean, capital flows are continuing out. This has been bullish for Bitcoin for a while. It's been the devaluation has kind of gone higher than it has been in a while. They've been loosening the band more and more, but the price of Bitcoin hasn't been moving with it as it had in the past. But I still think this is a bullish sign, and this is more signs of the Chinese economy deteriorating. Here's the Shanghai. It's had some really bad days, really got hurt, and yesterday Shanghai defied all markets and was up because China is trying to prop up the markets again, not really succeeding at it. I mean, price has fallen through, and it's nowhere near in a bullish position anymore. But I mean, China continues to try and crack down. So we'll see how that plays out in Bitcoin. I'm more concerned about how this stuff applies to Bitcoin than I am actually looking at Shanghai to trade. And then I will go into some currencies. Obviously, the U.S. dollar is the story again. We're about to break through the highs. Today we did momentarily, but we came back down, and we're right at major resistance. So the next couple of days will be really telling. But this has really been killing everything in the commodity space and in the markets as well. The dollar strength is just unparalleled, and it looks like it wants to continue higher. So that's a problem. Euro dollar, it went through my line just 2 days ago. That's my line of support, and here we are below. I mean, we're on par to go to parity at some point if this continues. Very weak. Sorry about that. This is the yen dollar, and that's been strong lately for some reason. I think it's more out of a safety trade because of the way the markets have been. Yen is always a safety bet, so it's been looking better than it had for quite a while. And it's in a bullish position compared to a lot of other currencies. And then I have here the Argentine peso versus the U.S. dollar. Continues lower. We had that move where they devalued 30%. And it kind of went up a little bit, and now it's below that, and it continues to sink. Probably a good place to take a vacation if you have U.S. dollars in the coming months. I'm thinking of it myself. And then finally, this is the Russian ruble versus U.S. dollar, and I put this up just to show again the commodity play and how it's been hurt really bad. Russia is a big commodity producer. If you put this chart up with Australia, Canada, and a lot of other currencies, you see the same exact thing. Really getting hammered and no bottom really in sight, despite what we're seeing in the RSI and a lot of these things oversold. I mean, oversold, and the CCI is oversold, and the MACD is just horrendous as well, below zero and just sinking. So that's all I have. Oh, and then I have one other chart, which is the 10-year yield. And the reason I put this up is because the Fed is not. No one's believing the Fed right now. Yields continue to fall, and the price of bonds continues to go up. So that tells me that the global growth story is definitely in question, and people are thinking that the Fed doesn't really have 4 rate hikes in it like was predicted, and people are scared. So the flight to safety is usually U.S. bonds. So this is interesting. The Fed is telling the story, and the markets aren't listening. And we've seen this story play out many times. Can the Fed actually come good on what they're saying? Is growth going to come back? We don't know. But what's happening is there's a riot starting in the markets again. And while I don't have the VIX up, it's spiking to new highs as well. So that's what we should be looking at. And that's all I have for today. Thanks.
Okay, thanks a lot. Tone, how's it going?
Hey guys, good. Oops, I didn't mean to open that. All right, I will also pick it up with Bitcoin. I like those charts, George. That was good. I view the Fed the same way. It's a flight to safety right now, so that's all pretty much it is. As the stock market crashes, people are just going somewhere for safety, and bonds just happens to be one of them. All right, so here we have Bitcoin, and for the last 3 weeks, it's really done nothing. So there's no reason to change my view on it. I'm still looking for a continuation of a pullback. I mean, until I see some strength above 440, 450, and preferably breaking my recent resistance at 475, going to 500. I just still see some more downside. What I've been trying to get to is this area here. I want to see the RSI below 30. So that's what I'm really looking at. And until I see the RSI reset, I'm going to continue to be neutral or bearish on Bitcoin. I would love to see, you know, a nice fall down to this area here in order for it to reset, but we'll see. We'll see if we get there. But to me, we are still, you know, RSI is going down, the MACD is going down, and we have this horizontal right here, right at 0. The MACD has not been negative for quite some time. It's been a while since we've been in this area here. And I think we're kind of due. It doesn't mean Bitcoin price is going to crash. It just means things need to reset a little bit. So that's my more like a year view chart. We can quickly glance at also another daily chart, but also just a little bit zoomed in. I'm not a huge fan of intraday charts on Bitcoin. I like to stick to daily and weekly. So this is my daily. We're pretty close to the 50-day moving average. We are just above it right there. And I've been wanting to have it hit for quite some time. It's been a while since we have. I would really like to see a hit of the 200-day moving average. That would be ideal. We'll see if we get there. But again, I'm waiting for the RSI to go to oversold, waiting for the MACD to go oversold as well, and then have a little flip in that area. So not much action at all. All right, let's talk about the markets. So today was a pretty big day in the market. So those that watched the year recap, the commodity recap, I talked about the S&P as well. And what I said in that video actually came true way sooner than expected. And that video was shot on around this candle here. That's when we shot the year-end video. And if you go back and listen to it, I say I was expecting a scare, a big scare in the market, something down to 1950 or even lower to get everybody scared, and then we go up from there. And we haven't even hit it yet. So this was, I took the snapshot just earlier today, and we're not even at my scare target yet. But we do have this very critical support resistance line, and we're below it. So if we're below the support resistance line, we can also claim this as a double top. And what we have, if you believe in chart patterns, we have the distance over here, which is about 100 S&P points. So that means once this line is broken and we're continuing to the downside, you are looking at a 100-point drop, which would take us down to 1900. Again, this right here is your true bottom. As long as we stay above this point, we're okay. So as long as the S&P reverses anywhere in this area, it's still a clean pullback, and we go up. So I'm not surprised at all that the S&P is having some trouble, and we'll see how long it lasts. I haven't been playing the S&P directly. I'm kind of just watching it. It's pretty volatile. I guess that's it. And as the S&P is crashing, there is a flight to quality. So people are rushing into buy government bonds, which I would not recommend. But another thing people are buying is gold, because gold is also a flight to safety. So we've been talking about this box right here. And we are now just above it. So we're breaking out. We also have a very, very clear support resistance line right here at this nice round 1100 number. So I previously missed this back test of the line because it was so quick and shallow. This is a much stronger retest, and personally I would be looking to short in this area. Once we break above 1100, all the gold bulls will be all riled up, thinking that the dollar is going to crash and all of that. But once the stock market reverses and the dollar continues to rise, gold will see its true bottom, which I don't think it has. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. I am not playing gold to the upside. I'm just waiting for a good place to short it. Hopefully I won't get caught on something like this again during my short. Again, having an idea where the market is going to go is one thing. Properly timing your trade is a completely different animal, which can sometimes be even more challenging than predicting the right direction. And finally, we have oil, which is just a complete disaster. So we did have this textbook reversal pattern right here, which I personally missed. In that year-end video that we shot a few days ago, I really, really liked oil going back up. I really liked oil to go back to 40. I personally did attempt to play it to the upside the other day. I'm already out of this trade because I had my stop loss. I had my proper stop loss at the 10-year lows, which was here. The 10-year low was just the other day, a few weeks ago. So the moment we went below this candle, that was my cue to get out, and I did. So I tried playing the reversal, didn't work out, which is okay. This is what trading is. I took it on my stop loss. I didn't lose that much, which is great. Proper capital preservation is important. So we're making new lows, guys. This is historic right here. Where is this going to end? I have no idea, and honestly, nobody does. So you wait for your reversal candle, and then you try to play it to the upside. There's really nothing more I can say. There haven't been many pullbacks at all. You have a little one here, You had a little one here, nothing really substantial. I mean, oil is massively oversold. The dollar is rising. That's bad for oil. There's oversupply. Yes, that is all true. But remember, just 3 to 4 months ago, oil was $110. Now we're at 34. If you look at, again, last week's video, you see the long-term charts. Things bounce. They don't go down forever. Now that we just made new lows, we'll probably go a little bit. I'm thinking maybe low 30s. I don't think we'll get into the 20s before we get a substantial bounce. That's pretty much all I have to say.
I'm going to talk about Litecoin and Bitcoin. Here we got Litecoin. Litecoin, the 6-hour Bollinger Bands are very tight. The last time they were this tight is November 22nd, 23rd, after the sell-off from Bitcoin sold off from 500. And so I think there's definitely going to be a big move soon whenever this resolves. And you see the same thing on the 6-hour Bitcoin Bollinger Bands. And the structure looks similar to the consolidation we had from around November 10th to November 25th. So, there could be a move coming in soon. It's also, the price is also getting close to that 50-day moving average that Tone spoke about. We did not touch in November, but it came close to it, and it's in a very similar position right now. Also, in regards to Ethereum, just the technicals there that George brought up, I think that I definitely agree. It looks really in a similar situation. It's getting really tight, the range, and a lot of the altcoins look like that now. Whether you think altcoins have a future or not, or whether they're just for speculation, a lot of the charts look very similar to that Ethereum chart that are just getting the range is really tight. So if Bitcoin were to go up, you could see some action in Litecoin, altcoins, Ethereum, etc. Okay, and that's all for today. I want to thank everyone for watching. Make sure to check us out on World Crypto Network and Bitcoin.com. Make sure to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, leave your comments below. See you next time.